His last words to his fans were on Instagram, "God got me." Just 2 hours later, he was lying in a pool of blood, dying outside a nightclub in Atlanta.
King Von's death wasn't just some random moment. It was the end result of months of real tension, street drama, and a beef that got way too real. Let's break down how it all started and how it led to that deadly night in Atlanta. So first off, King Von wasn't just another rapper talking tough in his music. He came from Chicago, from a neighborhood called O Block, and he was really about that life. He had a past, real charges, real street activity, but he was also smart and had serious talent. Once he got into rap, he started blowing up fast with tracks like Crazy Story and Took Her to the O. But even as his music was taking off, the street stuff didn't just go away. Now enter Quando Rondo. He was a rising rapper from Savannah, Georgia, signed to NBA Youngboy's label. Von and Quando didn't have a problem at first, but things started heating up because of connections. See, Von and NBA Youngboy weren't cool. There were rumors that Von had gotten close to Youngboy's ex-girlfriend, and Von even made comments online that made it look like he was throwing shade. Youngboy didn't say much, but Quando, being Youngboy's guy, stepped in and started dissing Von back. Then the internet did what it always does, blew it up. Fans started fueling the fire, making it bigger than it probably was. Von posted tweets, Quando posted replies. It turned into a back and forth, and soon both sides had something to prove. Now fast forward to November 6th, 2020. King Von was in Atlanta celebrating the release of his new album, Welcome to O Block. It was supposed to be a big night. He and his crew pulled up to a spot called Monaco Hookah Lounge. Quando Rondo's crew was also in town, and that's where things went left. According to surveillance footage, King Von saw Quando outside the club. He didn't hesitate. He walked straight up and started swinging. No words, no warning, he just started fighting. People say Von didn't even know Quando was there until he saw him in the parking lot. But once he did, it was on. The fight lasted just a few seconds before Lul Tim, one of Quando's close friends, pulled out a gun and shot Von. Multiple times. It happened so fast. Von was still throwing punches when the shots went off. There was chaos, people running, screaming, and Von was left on the ground. His people rushed him to the hospital, but a few hours later he was pronounced dead. He was only 26 years old. What makes this whole thing so tragic is that Von was finally making it. His music was charting, his fan base was growing, and people were starting to really respect his pen game. But the streets never left. And even though he was getting money and fame, that beef, that pride, and that background he came from, he carried it with him until the very end. After his death, the internet blew up. Some blamed Quando, some blamed Lul Tim, and others said Von should have moved smarter. But the truth is, it was just a real street situation that turned fatal. It wasn't about clout, it was personal, it was fast, and it was permanent. Today, King Von's name still rings out. His music's still being streamed, his fans are still loyal, and O Block still reps him like a legend. But his death is a reminder that no matter how successful you get, if the street life follows you, it can still take everything away in seconds. That's the real story behind how King Von died, and how it all started. Not just headlines, real life, real consequences. Real